Hello everybody, Low for Life here, bringing as a brand new video, and today we have a deck profile of a deck that I have been having a lot of fun playing with and trying to figure out how to make work ever since I realized these two decks have a lot of synergy. That is a Megalith Mitsurugi, Megalith plus Mitsurugi. This has been a really fun deck, and it's something really interesting because the Megalith support is just good enough to really elevate the archetype to being something that people are keeping an eye on, but it's not enough in my opinion. That's where the Mitsurugi stuff comes in to really try to make it to where you can actually play this deck in a way to where you break even on your rituals and you're able to put up a really strong board. And going first uninterrupted, this deck can end on two Omni Negates, one of which is no Tripura, one of which is the Trap, and then also one Pseudo Negate with the Ame, the one who does the negate but forces your opponent to discard. So really, it's not a full true negate. Plus also, of course, you can end on having any number of other disruption, typically with my best board was no Tripura, Ame, the Trap card, the Quick Play spell that lets you tribute and then search and then special and all that stuff, along with freaking Full and IP Masquerena. And that board is ridiculously strong. It doesn't look that strong when you first look at it, but it is strong. So I don't want to kind of like waste too much time. We're going to dive right into this, and I'll explain my choices as we go along. I do not believe this is a perfect build. I believe it still needs work. So if you have any ideas, recommendations, or concerns, please leave your comments down below. So starting with the main deck, we're going to take a look at the Megaliths first. I'm going to break this down by engine. First and foremost, we have 3 Aratron. Aratron is Dracotail Femina, but for Megaliths. You discard it to ritual summon any Megalith ritual monster from your hand by using monsters from your hand or field as that ritual cost. It's literally just a ritual spell that you can discard during your player's main phase. And that's the main thing right there, is the fact that you can do this during your player's turn. If you, depending on what you open, you can discard this guy to ritual summon on your opponent's turn on turn 0, and then set up either an Omni Negate or a Disruption with Bethor going second on your opponent's first turn, which, depending on what your opponent's playing, can be very, very, very strong, and can, while it might not win you the game right then and there, like an Arthelian can, depending on what they're playing against, it can really ruin what your opponent's trying to do. Aratron, almost called him Arthelian. Aratron also has a pretty great on-field effect. It doesn't come up too often, but depending on what you're playing against, it can be worth summoning him, where once per turn during a player's turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a monster you control, you can bottom deck a ritual monster from your graveyard to negate and destroy that card. Very strong Pseudo Omni Negate that only stops targeting stuff, but Dracotail, K9, and Yummy all have a ton of targeting effects, so this can come up, and depending on what you're doing with your board and how you're playing, it can be another piece of the end piece and board that you can set up. Speaking of, we are also playing 3 Full. Full is a ridiculously strong card. On ritual summon, you get to add back any ritual monster from your graveyard to your hand, and then Full becomes that monster's level. The important keyword here is it adds back any ritual monster, so you can even grab back your Mitsurugis, which is ridiculous. And then it becomes level 8, which is just, again, ridiculous. And then as a quick effect during your player's main phase, you can ritual summon a Megalith monster from your deck or hand using monsters you control in your hand. This card, the fact that you can do that during your player's turn, is, again, I'm going to use this word a lot, very ridiculous. The fact that you can just do that and then blanket wipe your opponent's board with a Bethor, or put out an Omni Negate with no Tripura. It's stupid. It's stupid. I'm going to try to use a different word than ridiculous. Anyway, speaking of no Tripura, we're playing one of him right now. No Tripura is a solid enough boss monster. He's 3700 attack and can only be ritual summoned using exclusively ritual monsters. So no using your hand traps or your level 4 Mitsurugis. You have to use exclusively ritual monsters. He is an Omni Negate, and if you negated something that targeted a card on the field, you can then also tribute a monster at resolution that your opponent controls. Also, he has a bonus effect where if he's in your hand, you can reveal him to make it to where your opponent can't activate anything in response to your Megalith monster effects. And that allows you to break some very, very strong boards. I broke a Yummy board just activating Notre Plura and then popping off of my Megaliths. They can't do anything in response, and since all the Yummy stuff has to activate in response, it's really, really good. Now, why I'm only playing one of it, it's because he's kind of a brick. He doesn't do anything going first. He doesn't have an inherent way to ritual summon like the other Megaliths. So yeah, he just kind of sits there. Now, granted, you do also kind of want to see him when you're going second, because you can do his hand effect. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I really want to try to, but the deck space is just too limited for it right now. Maybe after Mitsurugi get hit, because let's be real, Mitsurugi's going to get hit to hell. Anyways, moving on, we have one Bethor. Bethor is the one other level 8 that I'm playing. I'm not playing the Phalanx, I forget what his actual name is, but the white one that gives everybody a plus 300 for every ritual in your graveyard. It's a solid card, yeah, but you don't need it. Bethor has the effect where you can discard them, not a quick effect, to ritual summon any Megalith monster. And when it's summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard, and then destroy those. I believe it actually... let's see here. Yeah, different names, yes. I was double checking because I'm like, wait, am I wrong about that? No. So yeah, that's the only other level 8 that we're playing other than Aratron. I don't think the Phalanx is necessary. Next up, I'm playing one Full Lock. Full Lock is kind of like full on Ritual Summon. You get to target any Megalith card in your graveyard, add it back to your hand, and then as a quick effect in your player's main phase, or I believe actually only during your opponent's turn, during the main phase, yes. It's during your player's main phase. As a quick effect, you can ritual summon one Megalith monster from your graveyard, using monsters from your hand or field as material. This is really good if your opponent kills the Notre Plura, or if you get a Bethor in graveyard, or if you actually do want to use Aratron from your graveyard, you can go for him. So yeah, you got a lot of options there, and of course it also recycles your spells and traps and everything too, which is great because Megalith has some broken spell cards. Speaking of, I do play one Hagith. To search out the spells. His search on summon is not once per turn, but his ritual effect to, well, be able to ritual summon is a once per turn. That sucks. That's a hard once per turn, I should specify. But if you're able to spam out multiple of these guys or recycle the same one over and over, you can search multiple spell cards, which is really cool. Or the traps. I don't like the traps though, so anyways. Then we have one Ophiel. Ophiel, like Hagith, its search effect on summon is not once per turn, but its effect to ritual summon is a hard once per turn, so you can cycle it, get through more monsters, stuff like that. It doesn't come up too often, but they are there. And that's the Megalith monster package. Obviously we have the spells and stuff, actually just spells. Again, I don't play traps, the trap cards for Megalith in here, but I do have some of the spell cards in here, so those are in here as well. It's not the full Megalith package, but for the monster lineup, that is it. And the big thing is that I am playing 3 Megalith Unformed, the quick play ritual spell that lets you summon any Megalith from your deck. So that card effectively gives you access to everybody, and you don't need to max out or even play multiples of any of your Megalith monsters. It's just not necessary. So anyways, yeah, that's it for the Megalith side. And now we're going to pull into the Mitsurugi side. Alrighty. First and foremost, we got 3 Habakiri. It's standard. I'll be honest, this is the standard Mitsurugi package. We got 3 Habakiri. He gets you to any of your Mitsurugi. I keep wanting to say Megalith. He gets you to your Mitsurugis. We got 2 Murakumo and 1 Futsu for the ritual monsters. It's the standard Mitsurugi package. I'm going to be really interested to see how this changes, since I have an inkling that Habakiri is probably going to get banned. Out of all of them, he's the one that should really honestly go to most. Anyways, because it's because of Habakiri that you're able to play such little, because other than them, we're only doing one of each of the main deck non-ritual Mitsurugis. Why did I specify main deck? They don't have an extra deck. Anyways, I am also playing only one of each of the non-ritual Mitsurugis, because they're all easy to get to, they're all recyclable, and yeah, there's no real reason to play multiples of any of them, which does suck, at least not in this. If you're playing pure, obviously that's a different story, or depending on what other engines you're doing. But in the Megalith engine, in the Megalith build, I've been finding that this has been working pretty well. It does suck when you start really running low on names. A part of me really wants to play the continuous spell card that shuffles back Mitsurugis. Depending on how Mitsurugi gets hit on the ban list, because let's be real, it's happening, hopefully, then, well, we'll see about playing the continuous spell. To round out the non-hand traps in the monster lineup, I am playing one Night Sword Serpent, of course, who is an honorary Mitsurugi. Using him, you can make Gallant Granite. It's really funny playing this build, because every time I go Mitsurugi combo and I make Gallant Granite, in every situation, my opponent has tensed up a little, going, oh, here comes the Packy, the Fossil Dyna, and then I go search for a Megalith, and they're like, what? Even had one opponent go, keep in mind you have normal summon Muramasa, and I'm like, I'm going for a Megalith, good sir. The look on people's faces. Anyways, would it be better to search the Packy? Yeah, sure, probably. But this is more fun. Anyways, we are playing for hand traps, 3 Ash, pretty standard. 3 Fua, because we want to be able to draw into our Aratron in order to be able to, well, play on the opponent's turn. And that is it for the hand traps. At least in the main deck. Again, this has a very high engine cost, a very high engine amount, I should say, and you can't fit a lot of non-engine. So I chose to go for the 2 most general hand traps that I own. If you have like Parelia or Meows, those are options as well, but I don't have those and they're kind of expensive, so that's not happening. But I digress. So yeah, you could also, if you wanted to, play Droll instead of Ash in the main deck. That's an option, but I don't think it's necessary. Droll just doesn't do enough to every single deck out there at the moment, but it is in my side deck, and I will go over the side deck too, so yeah, we will get to that here in a moment. Now onto the spells. I mentioned it before, but we're playing 3 Megalith Unformed. This card has 2 effects, neither once per turn, and only one of them is relevant. The relevant one is the effect to where you can ritual summon any Megalith ritual monster from your hand or deck by using monsters you control or in your hand, whose total levels equal or exceed double. Sorry, I don't think it actually can be exceeded. It has to be, it has to equal exactly twice the level. It has to equal exactly twice the level. Don't listen to me 2 seconds ago where I was saying it can be exceeded. It has to be exactly double. So if you want to go for full from your deck, you have to tribute a level 4. You want to go for Hagif, OVL, or Full Luck, you have to contribute a level 8. And if you want to go for any of the level 8s, you have to tribute 16 levels worth. And you want to go for Notra Plura from your deck, forget about it. You're going to need 24 levels worth. That's just not happening. That'd be silly. So the main thing is, this card lets you get into your level 4s and your level 2s exceedingly easily. That's the most common way that I've used this. It gets you to full, it gets you to your level 4s. I have actually gone for Bethor one time, tributing 2 of the Mitsurugi level 8 rituals from hand to board break and get 2 searches right away. I have done that. That is something you can do. Is it something that is always the most ideal? Probably not, but I did win that game, so, you know, it worked out in the end. Next, we got the other card that should probably get banned or go to 1. Mitsurugi Prayers. This card's stupid. Tribute a guy, get both effects, or you can just not and get only 1 effect. Everybody knows what the Mitsurugi stuff does. You can add a Mitsurugi to hand, or you can special summon a Mitsurugi after taking 800 damage, or if you tribute a ritual, a reptile, you get to do both. Stupid card, stupid setup. The fact you can do it on your opponent's turn too. Why was this a quick play spell and not a normal spell? I don't know. Anyways, then we got 2 Mitsurugi Ritual. You don't need a third. It just doesn't come up. It's very bricky with a third. But anyways, speaking of actually a third, we do actually play 1 of the Mitsurugi Mirror. That's also why, which we do entirely to be able to play 1 pre-prep as well. You can optionally play more pre-prep. I personally am not the biggest fan of playing multiple pre-prep, just because the deck already has a million and one ways to get to everything, and space is tight. If I wanted to go to 50 cards, there's a few other things you can play in here. A friend of mine was really trying to like get me to play Manju or Senju, and I'm like, no, no, I don't want to play in a draw even harder than I already do. Anyways, then we got 1 Megalith Anastasis. This card is ridiculous. There I go with the word ridiculous again. Anastasis is a continuous spell that says once per turn you can discard 1 card, add 2 Megalith monsters with different levels from your deck to your hand. One has to be a level 8 or higher, and the other one has to be a level 4 or lower. So you get to your combo pieces. It gets you to your guys. And this card is stupid. just for that alone, it would be stupid. But also, once per turn, during your player's turn, when you ritual summon a Megalith monster, you can activate one of the following effects. You can only do it once per turn. It's a hard once per turn. Like you can't even do it per copy. But if you ritual summon a Megalith, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1, or you can tribute an opponent's monster. Very, very, very stupid card, and one card that I really want to play more than one of, but it is so bricky, drawing multiple copies of it, and I mean, sure, you can discard 1 for another copy, but then you get a Ghost Ogre or Ash Blossom, and now you're just kind of a sitting duck. It also really sucks going second with it, and your opponent's already on an established board and everything, so it's like, okay, we gotta play through everything and then also try to hopefully resolve this. It's just not always a guaranteed thing. So I'm playing 1 of it right now. Depending on how hard Mitsurugi gets hit, this card might get bumped up to 2 or even 3 of in the future. And obviously in a pure Megalith build, it's probably a 2 or 3 of. But like right now, it's a 1 of in this build. Finally, for the spells, I'm playing 1 Called by the Grave. This card has been a godsend at times. It just sucks that it's a 1 of, and you know, I see it 1 time, so I'm not a big fan of Saki 1-ofs like it, but oh well, kind of gotta play it, especially because this deck just auto loses to Drone Lock and stuff like that, so yeah. Finally, we do play 1 Mitsurugi Great Purification. I've been told I should cut this and switch it for the quick play spell that can ritual summon or pop a guy. But I really like this card for one main reason, and that is that when you are going first, some people do play Forbidden Droplets or Dark Ruler No More in the main, and even worse, in the side deck, you see those cards all the time, and this card answers those. Having No Triplur out and Murakumo, and your opponent goes Dark Ruler No More, you can't do anything about it. But you have this, you can go, okay, no, I'm stopping that, and now my other stuff is safe. So that's the idea behind it. That's the main reason why I play it. If you really want to like put it in the side deck and play the quick play spell instead, be my guest, it's up to you. But for now, this is what I'm liking in the main deck. Finally, that's the main deck. 40 cards exact, if I remember correctly. It might be a little over. I hope it's not under. I've done that a few times in the past. Every now and then I still see comments pop up on old videos where I've accidentally uploaded a deck profile with like 39 cards or something. Anyways, on to the extra deck. We got Gallant Granite. God, please call me. Don't ban this card and ban the Packy instead. Okay, we don't need all the generic extra searches to get banned. Anyways, Gallant Granite. This is our bridge into the Megalith stuff. Obviously, we can't do King of the Feral Imps to bridge into Mitsurugi from Megalith, but there is another card that can kind of do it. I'm sure you guys have been well acquainted with Ashland by now at this point, so yeah. Anyway, 1 Code Igniter. This card lets you ritual summon, and it's a generic rank 4, so that's the whole reason. 1 Baguska in case we can't play. 1 Daguerres to be able to draw and stuff. Onto the links, I'm playing 2 Dynamondo because this card is stupid. Get you back your ritual monsters or a ritual spell if you need to. Granted, we only play 2, 3, Yeah, 3 total. But yeah, can't get it back. I think I can grab back the ritual spells, right? Yeah, target 1. Oh, it cannot actually. I thought I could grab back ritual spells. Oh well, good thing I never targeted those. Anyways, then you contribute it to special a ritual monster from your graveyard. That comes up all the time. 1 cross sheep, because this does come up every now and then, but we got enough draw power where it doesn't actually like need it, but it can. 1 IP Masquerena, so we can do IP into SP or IP into Dynamondo. 1 Ashland U1000. I kind of want to play 2 of this guy. He has 2 really good effects. And the main thing is you can reveal a ritual monster in your hand to add a ritual monster with a different type and attribute from your deck to your hand. Of course, most Megaliths are Earth Rock, and the Mitsurugis are Dark Reptile. So you can bridge from one way or from one to the other very easily with this card. It's also probably a card worth playing 2 of, but it just hasn't really come up enough. If you want to play 2, take out Cross Sheep, put this in. It has another effect where if you ritual summon a monster, you can target a face-up card on the field and bounce it to the hand. It just has not come up. Actually, wait, it's a card your opponent controls, not on the field. That'd be actually kind of nutty. Anyways, and then finally 1 the Dark Charmer to be able to like just link climb and stuff if we have to. If you're wondering where the rest of the extra deck is, that is because we are playing Ultimate Slayer on the side, and I'm playing probably the 3 best targets for Ultimate Slayer. Entis to pop by bouncing one of my opponent's Draco Tails. Herald of the Arclight to bounce Herald of the Arclight and then search a ritual monster or spell, and a Meteorological Aggregator to bounce back a Xyz monster. So yeah, that's the extra deck. Super fluid, super flexible, however you want to go about it. The only hardline cards I would say really are these guys and Ashland. And also, of course, Dynamondo. I'd say those are like the only like super hardline cards. Everything else you can easily take out for whatever else you want. So it just comes down to you and personal preference. The extra deck is just rarely ever touched in this deck. Finally, the side deck. First and foremost, we have 3 Ghost Sister and Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion. I wanted to call her Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. That's not her. Anyways, 1 Ghost Belle. 3 Ghost Belle, 3 Droll to be able to just, stop the annoying stuff. 3 Ultimate Slayer when we're going second. 3 Forbidden Droplet when we're going second. And 3 D-Barrier when we're going first to try to just make our opponent not be able to play. And that is it. That's the mains, extra deck, and side. I've been having a lot of fun playing this deck. It's I've been told repeatedly by some people to give up on it and that it's not good, it's a bad idea, and to just focus on either the Mitsurugi or the Megalith stuff. And like, honestly, if I were to scrap it, I'd probably just sell the Mitsurugi stuff at this point. I fully believe Mitsurugi is going to get hit into oblivion on the next ban list, and those $30 Mitsurugi rituals are not going to be $30 anymore. So yeah, that's the only reason why I'm not selling my other 2 copies of Mitsurugi Rituals, because I've been having so much fun playing this deck. And yeah, probably closer to December I'll probably try to sell them if they haven't been hit already. But anyways, that is everything. If you have any ideas, recommendations, or concerns, please leave them down below. If you guys are interested in a combo video, I will look into doing that. And yeah, I'm gonna really try and get back into the swing of things of making videos. I know I say that every time, but it's something I miss doing. So anyways, thank you all, rate, comment, subscribe, and look forward to the next one. Peace out. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider rating, commenting, and subscribing. Sharing the video helps as well. If you especially really like it, please do consider being a channel member. Every little bit helps out. And hey, also why not check me out on my other social media pages. Thank you, and have a great day.